the model that we're the steps model for stepping stones care, right at the very beginning of that is seeking to understand. Um, so how do we think about the experiences that child's had or is having? All of therapeutic care, in a very basic way, is how do we look behind the behaviour? The behaviour is a communication. What's behind that? What's the need behind that? How do we fulfil that need and not just focus on the behaviour that we're experiencing, because that's just a form of communication. So in all of our processes, we build that seek to understand in, and then the next step is around thoughtful care. So like I was saying before, how do we mindfully apply that? How does everything, once we've tried to understand, and you can't understand everything, everyone's different, and we can't be mind readers, but we've got to try and think, what could this child be feeling? What could this child have experienced? What could be the reason for that behaviour or that way of thinking? And then apply that through thoughtful care. Okay, so what do we need? What's our plan? How do we best respond to that? How do we best respond to the need? And hopefully that helps us then help the children to progress through their trauma, and we can start working on some of the other things as well in terms of independence and what life looks like in the future. But the primary focus has got to be that seeking to understand and that thoughtful care, delivering care in a clear, planned way, in a mindful way that is based on not just my map of the world and my previous experiences and what I think is good parenting based on my parents. Actually, what does research tell us? What do the experts tell us is the best way to respond? And then we can do that thoughtfully. Therapeutic care isn't about being completing therapy with a child or therapizing a child. Therapeutic care is about who you are. So it's not just about with children, it's about how we respond every day. How do I respond as a director of operations when I'm talking to people at head office? How do I respond when a manager rings me and is really upset because something's happened in the house? It's not something that you do, it's something that you are. So in any interaction, is everyone in the organisation seeking to understand what's going on here for this person, what's happening? Can be very easy to fall into a behavioural response around, well, I really don't like that behaviour, and that's fine. We can not like a behaviour of someone, but we've got to understand what might be behind that. So if someone walks in and something happens, and someone walks into head office now and says and behaves in a certain way, I'm not instantly thinking, oh, I really don't like that behaviour. I'm thinking, what might have happened on the way to work today? What might have happened last night with their family? What might have... So that's the question. The response isn't why are you behaving, not necessarily why are you behaving in that way, or I don't like that behaviour. How are you feeling? What's going on today? Because that's the starting point.